We continue now at the top of Daf Yud Chesam and Aleph and Meseches Megillah. This is Megillah Daf 18a. The Gemara is discussing why the bracha of Es Tzemach David follows the bracha of Bonei Yerushalayim in the Shmona Esrei. Gemara says it's based on a pasuk in Hosea. The pasuk says, Achar Yashuva b'nei Yisrael uvikshu es Hashem Elokeihem ve'es David Malkam. So the pasuk is talking about Klal Yisrael returning to the Beis HaMikdash. That's Bonei Yerushalayim. And then it talks about David HaMelech. In other words, we say the bracha of Es Tzemach David, referring to the kingdom of David HaMelech. V'kevan sheba David basa tefillah. And once we talk about the kingdom of David HaMelech, so that's when we talk about tefillah or shomei tefillah. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, v'haviosem el har kodshi v'simachtem beveis tefillasi. So that's why the bracha of shomei tefillah follows the bracha of Es Tzemach David. V'kevan shebasa tefillah. And once we talk about tefillah, basa avoda. So then we talk about avoda. That's the bracha of ritzei, service in the Beis HaMikdash. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, oloseyem v'zivcheyem l'rotzon al mizbechi. It talks about the fact again. The pasuk follows talking about the karbonos, so the karbonos are following this idea of shomei tefillah. V'kevan shebasa avoda basa toda. After we talk about avoda, so then we have the bracha of modim, the bracha of thanks. V'nemar, like the pasuk says, zoveach toda yichabdonani. So again, you have in the same pasuk this idea of avoda zoveach, and you have the idea of toda, the idea of hoda, thanks, the bracha of modim. And the Gemara continues, Umaro lomar birchas kohanim achar hoda. Why did they see fit to place the birchas kohanim after the bracha of modim, after the bracha of thanks? Tichsiv, because the pasuk says, Vayisa Aaron es yadav eloam, vayivarchim. It says that Aaron blessed the people. That's birchas kohanim. Vayered me'asos hachatos ve'olav ashlamim. And then it says he came down from doing the carbon chatos, carbon ola, and shlamim. Gemara says, what kind of proof is that? Ema kodem avoda. Maybe we should say based on this pasuk, first it mentions birchas kohanim, then it mentions avoda, it mentions the karbonos in the Beis HaMikdash. So maybe birchas kohanim should be before ritzei. So the Gemara says, lo sakadayitach, don't think that. Dechsiv vayered me'asos hachatos. It says he came down from doing it. So miksiv lasos, he didn't come down to do the karbonos. Me'asos ksiv, it says he came down from doing it, meaning the karbonos came first. But the Gemara still says, V'leimer achar havod. If that's the case, so you should do birchas kohanim after the bracha of ritzei, after the karbonos. Why do we do it after modim? So the Gemara says, Lo sakadayitach, don't think that's the case. Techsiv, because the pasuk says, Zoveach toda, that's the pasuk we quoted before. After the karbonos comes the toda, comes the hoda, and only then we're going to follow with the birchas kohanim. So the Gemara says, "My chaz is to samachta samachahai." You have psukim in both directions. One pasuk indicates you do karbanos then hoda. You have this other pasuk that indicates karbanos and then birchas kohanim. So how do you know which one to pick? So the Gemara says, "Mistabra avoda v'hoda chada milsi." It makes sense to say that avoda and hoda, meaning doing the service in the Beis HaMikdash and also doing the thanksgiving, that's all the same basic idea. Rashi over here says, "Chada milsi af hoda avoda shel makamhu." In other words, giving thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu is also considered a service of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the Gemara continues, "Umar ro'u lomar sim shalom achar birchas kohanim." Why did they see fit to say the bracha of sim shalom after the bracha of birchas kohanim? Tichsiv, like the pasuk says, "V'samu es shemi al bnei Yisrael va'ani avarchem." It says, "Place my name upon Klal Yisrael, and I will give them a bracha." In other words, after the birchas kohanim, then I'm going to give a bracha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to give a bracha. Bracha de HaKadosh Baruch Hu shalom, and we know that the bracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is shalom, is peace. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, Hashem yavarech es amu b'shalom. Hashem blesses his nation with peace. And the Gemara now continues, V'chimei achar demei ve'esrim zikenim. Now, if we said earlier that the 120 elders, among them Nevi'im, they're the ones that were Mesakin Tefillah, they're the ones that were Mesakin the Shmona Esrei in order. So Shimon HaPakoli, my hister. So you also said earlier on the previous summit that Shimon HaPakoli is the one that set up the Shmona Esrei. So which one is it? And so the Gemara answers, Shachachum v'chazar v'sidrum. What happened was it was set up initially, again, by the 120 sages, then it was forgotten, and then it was reorganized by Shimon HaPakoli. And the Gemara says, Mikan v'elach, from this and onward, Asr l'saper b'shivcha shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You can't add on to the praises of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Whatever was set in the tefillah, that's the praises that we say. We don't do more than that. The Amar Rabbi Elazar says, Ma'idechsiv, what does the pasuk mean when it says, Mi yamalil gevuros Hashem, yashmiya kol tehilaso? It says, who will speak of the might of Hashem and say all of his praises? What it means to say is, Lemi noya lemalal gevuras Hashem. To who is it fitting? To who is it appropriate to say the might of Hashem? Lemi sheyachol lashmiya kol tehilaso. Only to somebody who could say all of his praises. In other words, it's impossible for someone to say all the praises of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and therefore we limit it to that which is set in the tefillah. And the Gemara continues, Amar Rabba bar bar Chana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Rabba bar bar Chana says in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, HaMesaper b'shivcha shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu yoser midai. Along the same line, somebody who speaks of the praise of HaKadosh Baruch Hu more than necessary, more than appropriate, nekar min ha'olam. He's uprooted from the world. Shenemar, like the pasuk says, Hayisuper lo ki adaber, shall be told to him because I speak. Imamar ish ki yavul. If a person says it, will he be swallowed up? And the Gemara understands this pasuk to mean that if a person tries to speak too much the praises of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that person is going to be swallowed up. And the Gemara continues, Darash Rav Yehuda ish kfar Giboraya. Rabbi Yehuda, the man of the village of Giboraya, darshan as follows, Ve'amri lo ish kfar Gibor Chayil. Some people say he was a man of the village of Gibor Chayil. He said as follows, Ma'id chsiv, what does the pasuk mean when it says, L'cha dumya sihila, for you, praise is silence. For you, silence is considered praise. The idea is sama dekula mishtuka. The best medicine, the best remedy of all is silence. In other words, again, same idea. It's really impossible to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Kiyasa Rav Dimi Amr, when Rav Dimi came, he said, Amri b'ma'arav, he said, they say in the West, Mila b'sela, if a word sells for a sela, mishatuka betrayin. So then silence is going to sell for two selaim. Again, it's stressing the idea that silence is sometimes preferred to speaking. The Gemara continues at the two dots, quoting the Mishnah, Kro al pelo yotze v'chulu. It says, if he reads it by heart, if he doesn't read it from a scroll, so then he's not going to be yotze. So the Gemara says, Menolan, from where do we know that the Megillah needs to be read in a scroll? Amar Rava says, Asya Zechira, we learn out from Gzeir Shava, from the word Zechira. Ksevach, it says over here, Vayamim ha'ela nizkarim, by Purim it says, Vayam ha'ela, it uses the word nizkarim. Uksevasam, and it says over there, talking about remembering what Amalek did and blotting out the memory of Amalek, it says, Ksov zos zikarim b'sefer. It says, write this down as a remembrance in a sefer. Again, it mentions the scroll. Mahalahalan b'sefer, Afkan b'sefer. Just like over here it's in a sefer, so too by Megillah it's in a sefer. But the Gemara says, how do you know that Zechira means you have to actually read it out loud? Maybe we're just supposed to open the sefer and read it. Read it to ourselves. Look at the sefer. So the Gemara says, Lo sakadaitach, don't think that's the case. Because the pasuk says Zachar. It says in the pasuk you have to remember. Yachol balev, I might think you remember only in the heart. Kishuomer lo tishkach, when it says in the pasuk lo tishkach, harei shichas halev amar, it already says you can't forget it in your heart. Hamani mekayim zachar. What does the word zachar mean? It means bepeh, it means you have to say it verbally. And we will note over here that the Mesoras Hashas changes this d'chsiv to the Tanya, because the idea, of course, is that we're quoting a brisa over here, that you have to actually say it verbally. The Gemara continues at the two dots, quoting the Mishnah, Kara Targum Lo Yotze V'chulu. It says, if you read the translation of the Megillah, so he's not Yotze. So Hechi Dami, what's the case? Ilema D'chsiva Mikra V'kari La Targum. If the case is you're opening up a Megillah that's written in the regular Hebrew text, and then you're just reading it and translating instead of reading the original Hebrew, so Hainu Al Peh, that's basically the same thing as reading it by heart anyway. We already said that Baal Peh is the problem. So the Gemara says, Lo, no, tzricha, it's needed. What the Mishnah means is, D'chsiva targum v'kari la targum. You open up a scroll that's written in the translation, and you read the translation, and the Mishnah is saying even that is going to be problematic. The Gemara continues at the two dots, quoting the Mishnah, V'korin osalu lo azos belaz v'chulu. It says, you're allowed to read the Megillah for those who speak a foreign language. You can read it for them in that language. So the Gemara says, V'amrid kra b'chol lashon lo yotze. You just said a second ago in the Mishnah that if you read it in other languages, the person's not yotze. So which one is it? So the Gemara says, Rav u'Shmuel darmi tarvayu. Rav and Shmuel, they both say, Belaz Yavanim. When we're talking about the case that you can read it in a foreign language, that's talking specifically about Greek. Gemara says, Hechi dami. What exactly is the case? Ilema d'chsiva ashuris v'kari lo Yavanis. Now, if you're reading from a scroll that's written in regular Hebrew letters, and you read it in Greek, so Hainu al Peh, that's like reading it by heart, that's for sure a problem. So Amar Rav Acha, Amar Rebbe Lazar, so Rav Acha says in the name of Rebbe Lazar, Sheksuva Belaz Yavanis. The case is you're actually reading from a text that's written in Greek, so then in that situation, it would be okay. And this follows along the same lines of what we have seen in previous Gemaras, that the translation to Greek has a special halachic status. And the Gemara continues, V'yamar Rav Acha, Amar Rebbe Lazar, and Rav Acha says in the name of Rebbe Lazar, Minayin shekro HaKadosh Baruch Hu liYaakov Kel. How do you know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu referred to Yaakov as Kel? Shenemar, like the pasuk says, Vayikra lo Kel Elokei Yisrael. It says he called him Kel, the God of Israel. The Gemara is understanding that to mean that HaKadosh Baruch Hu called Yaakov Kel. Now, if you think what the pasuk means is that Yaakov called the Mizbeach Kel, that's another way to read this pasuk. Vayikra lo Yaakov miboile. It should have said that. It should have said Vayikra lo Yaakov. The Yaakov, he's the subject. He called it Kel. Ela Vayikra lo li Yaakov Kel. What it really means is he called Yaakov Kel, umi karo Kel, and who's the one that called Yaakov Kel? Elokei Yisrael. It was the God of Israel that called Yaakov Kel. And the Gemara continues, Meisei, we have a question from the following. Brisa, Kra, Giftis, Ivris, Ilmis, Midyas, Yavanis, Lo Yatza. These are all various languages. You read the Megillah in Giftis, Ivris, Ilmis, Midyas, and Yavanis, he's not Yotze. Now the problem over here is it says Yavonis, he's not Yotzei. And Rav and Shmuel just said before that the explanation of our Mishnah is that Greek is unique, and you are Yotzei if you read it in Greek. So the Gemara says, Halo dam yelalaha. The Gemara answers a different answer altogether for our Mishnah. Our Mishnah is following the following brisa. The brisa says, giftis legiftim. Let's say you read it in giftis for giftim, meaning for people that speak that language. Ivris leivrim, ilmis leilmim, yavonis leyavonim. If you speak it in the language that a particular person speaks for that person, yotza, you are yotze. And that's what our Mishnah means as well. Our Mishnah means that if the person speaks that language and you read it to them in their language, so then it's okay. But the Gemara says, how does that make any sense? If so, Rav Shmuel, amay mukmi lo lemasnisin belaz yavonis. If that's the case, why does Rav and Shmuel say that our Mishnah is specifically talking about the Greek language? There's nothing unique about the Greek language. Our Mishnah just means whatever language you speak is good. Lukma b'cholaz, just say it's by any language. So the Gemara says, you're right, elamasnisin kebraisa. Really, our Mishnah follows the brisa we just quoted. When our Mishnah says foreign languages does work, that's specifically if you read it to someone who speaks that language in their language. And Rav and Shmuel made a statement independent of our Mishnah. They said on their own, they said the following. Rav Shmuel, Damri Tarvayu, Rav and Shmuel both said, Laz Yevoni lachol kosher. When it comes to the Greek language, that's kosher for anybody, even someone who doesn't speak that language of Greek. So the Gemara says, V'katani, but 1 second. We just said in the Brisa, Yevonis liyevonim. One of the things in the Brisa was Greeks for people who are Greek. So on the contrary, it doesn't seem it doesn't seem like Yevonis is any different than any other language. And so the Gemara says, liyevonim in l'kuli al malo. Apparently, it's only good for the Yevonim. It's not good for other people. And so the Gemara answers, you're right, that Brisa does go against Rav and Shmuel. However, inu damer Rav Shimon Gamliel. Rav and Shmuel, when they say there's something unique about Yevonis, they're following Rav Shimon Gamliel. The Tanan, as we learned in the Mishnah, Rav Shimon Gamliel, Rav Shimon Gamliel says, Af svarim lo hitiru sheyichtavu el Yevonis. Even when it comes to Sifrei Torah, the only heter is to write in Yevonis. That's the only language that's allowed outside of the standard Hebrew. Gemara says, V'leimer halacha Rav Shimon Gamliel. But if that's the case, if they're just saying that, so let them say the halacha is like Rav Shimon Gamliel. So the Gemara says, no, Yamri halacha Rav Shimon Gamliel. If they said the halacha was like Rav Shimon Gamliel, Hava amina hani mili shar svarim. I would say it's only true by other svarim. Aval Megillah, but maybe the Megillah would be an exception. It says, as it is written. Maybe it can only be written in the original language. It can't be written in Yavonis. So Eimalo, I would say it's not true by Megillah. So that's what they're teaching us. Kamash Malon, Rav and Shmuel are coming to teach us that by the Megillah, it's the same as other Svarim. Just like other Svarim, you can write it in Yavonis. So too, that's true by the Megillah. And Rashi over here explains, Masnisin Kebraisa, our Mishnah really follows the Braisa. Zum Mesukmet follows this Braisa. Kara B'chol Lashon, when it says, you read it in any language, what it means to say again, if you read it for someone who speaks that language. The Katani Masnis and Lo Yotza, when the Mishnah says you're not Yotze if it's in other languages, can go giftis l'mediyim u'mediyas l'giftim. That's if you read in a foreign language for someone who doesn't speak that language. But there's no problem reading it for someone who speaks a foreign language if you read it in their language. The Gemara continues at the 2 dots, quoting the Mishnah of Haloes Shashama Ashuris Yotza v'chulu. It says, let's say somebody speaks a foreign language, but he hears it in the standard original Hebrew, he's Yotze. So the Gemara says, V'holo yada mai kamri. How's he Yotze? He doesn't know anything that's going on. He doesn't know what they're saying. So the Gemara says, Midi dehave anoshim v'yamei haaretz. That's no different than women or amei haaretz, people who are not learned. They're also allowed to fulfill the mitzvah, even though they don't understand what's being said. Maskef lo Ravina. So Ravina asked the following question. Atu anan, 1 second. What do you think about us? Let's say in the phrase in the Megillah, it says, Achashteronim b'nei haramochim. Miyadina, do we know what that means? We don't know either what that means. Ela mitzvahs kriyo persume nisa. So it just means to say there's a mitzvah to read it and to spread the miracle. Hachanami here also, mitzvahs kriyo persume nisa. It's just a mitzvah to read it publicly to spread the miracle. And again, he seems to be saying there's no particular mitzvah to understand everything that's being said. As Rashi over here says, Upersume nisa, you spread the miracle, even if they don't understand what they're listening to. Shoal and Asashomen, they'll ask other people who are listening. V'omrin mahi akriya, they'll say, what's going on over here? What are we reading? What is the hazu? What is this reading? What was the miracle? They'll let them know. That's really the nature of the mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah that you have to understand every word of the Megillah. And the Gemara continues at the 2 dots, quoting the Mishnah, Kras Seirugin Yotze v'chulu. It said if he reads it Seirugin means with intervals, so then you're still Yotze. So the Gemara says, Lo have yadi Rabbanan my Seirugin. The Rabbanan didn't know what the word Seirugin means in the Mishnah. Shamu Lamsa Devei Rabbi, but then they heard the maidservant in the house of Rabbi. The Koamr Luhula Rabbanan, that she told the Rabbanan to have a Aili Piski Levei Rebbe. They were coming in groups, in intervals to the house of Rebbe, and she used the following expression: Ad Masayatem Nichnasin Seirugan. Why are you entering Seirugan? So it was clear that Seirugan means in intervals. Again, you're taking pauses, and that's also what it means in the Mishnah. Gemara gives similar stories here. Lo Haviyadi Rabbanan Mai Chaluglugos. The Rabbanan didn't know, what does the word Chaluglugos mean? So the Gemara says, Shamuel la'amsa devei Rebbe. They once heard the maidservant in the house of Rebbe. To Omr lahu gavra. So she said to a particular individual, that this person he was spreading, and parpechine over here refers to a kind of vegetable. It's the vegetable called purslane. So this individual is spreading that. And so she said to him, Ad masay ata mefazer chaluglogecha. How long are you going to spread? And she used the same term of chaluglugos. So therefore, you understood that that's what this means. It means to say this kind of vegetable. And the Gemara continues along the same lines. The Rabbanan didn't know, what does the pasuk mean when it says salsaleo tromecha, that if you turn over wisdom, then it will lift you up, it will exalt you. So Shamuel amsa devei Rebbe to have a samra lu gavra. So they heard the maidservant in the house of Rebbe again saying to a particular individual to have him hapich b'mazi, who was twirling his hair. Amrle, she said to him, how long are you going to twirl your hair for? And so therefore they understood that it means, the word salsaleh means to say that you're going to turn over the wisdom, and then again it's going to lift you up. And the Gemara continues along the same lines. Lo haviyodi rabbanan mai hashlech al Hashem yehavcha. It says in the pasuk, you should cast your burden upon Hashem. That's a pasuk in Tehillim. They didn't know what yehavcha meant. So the Gemara says, Amar Rabba bar Barchana, Rabba bar Barchana says, Zimna chada havazilna bahade otaya. There was one time I was going with a certain Arab, who was a certain nomad, the kadarina tuna, and I was carrying a load. The Amarli said to me, Shkol Yehavech v'shadi agamlo. He said, take your load, take off your burden, and you should put it on my camel. So you see that the idea of Yehavcha means, again, you cast your burden upon Hashem. And the Gemara continues, Lo haviyadi rabbanan mai v'tetesia b'matate hashme. The pasuk says, there's a pasuk in Yeshayahu, it says, I'm going to sweep it away with a broom of destruction. They didn't understand what those first two words meant. So Shamuel amsa devei Rebbe to have a samar lechaverta. They heard the maidservant of Rebbe. She was saying to her friend, Shekule tatisa v'tate beisa. She said, get the broom and sweep the house. And then they understood what this pasuk means. And the Gemara continues, Tana Rabban, the rabbis taught, Cross Seirugan Yotza. If a person reads the Megillah Seirugan, then he's going to be Yotze. Again, Seirugan means it's read in intervals, and we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Ches Amud Beis.